Our next guest is quite simply one of the most inspirational people I know. He's the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Power of Intention. Please welcome my friend, Dr. Wayne Dyer. So let's talk about what we're doing here. We talked about last time you were here just giving back and small acts of kindness and what that does.
Yeah, and I think one of the things to understand about small acts of kindness is that you just don't know how they can reverberate and what can happen even years and years later. And I wanted to tell you, when I was in high school, I didn't do very well in high school. I didn't go very often. I had a lot of A's on here. I had a lot of F's over here because the classes I didn't like, I didn't attend. My mother, whom I love, is watching today, who's 92 years old, was going through a divorce with my stepfather, who was an alcoholic. Things were really tough at home. I was working, and I just didn't put very much into high school. I did graduate, but very close to the bottom of my class, and then I went right into the Navy and spent 4 years in the Navy on board an aircraft carrier. I got transferred over to Guam. In my last year and a half, I was on Guam. And about a year and a half before I got out of the Navy, I decided I wanted to go to college. I wanted to be a school teacher. It was just something I just really was motivated and positive about doing. And I applied to the university in Detroit, which is Wayne State University, which I had my kids convinced was named after me for many, many years. But they looked up my high school record and said, I'm sorry, but this isn't the place for you. There's no chance that you could get in here. And to me, that was a brick wall. I just kept running into that brick wall. I couldn't get past the past that I had created for myself. But I've always believed that a brick wall is just there for people who don't really care enough or don't really want something badly enough. And I wanted this very, very badly. And I began to communicate with a fellow there. His name was Bruce. He worked in the admissions office. And he kept telling me, no, you're not going to be able to go here. And this was before they even had community colleges. So I just was like stuck. I was going to go perhaps work at the foundries in Detroit and so on. And Bruce just took a liking to me because I was just so persistent. I wouldn't let up. And he decided, he did an act of kindness that was really something that touched me very, very deeply. He went to all the powers that be at this university. This is a very large university in Detroit. And he got permission to get me admitted on a provisional basis. And the provisional basis was that if I enrolled and I was able to maintain a 2.5 grade point average for a couple of semesters, that I would be able to matriculate and go there. So I was so excited. You can't imagine that. I was the first person in my entire family to ever go to a university. I was the first person in my neighborhood. It's just where I grew up. When you finished and you graduated, if you did, you went to work at the foundries. You worked for Chrysler or Ford or General Motors and so on. So the idea of my attending college was so great. And I got there and I went and I met Bruce and I thanked him because he had actually gone to the president of the university to get a special dispensation so that I could attend this school, just because he liked me so much. Went out of his way, actually bent all the rules for me. Okay, so that was 46 years ago. That was 1962. And on the 4th of May, 1970, 8 years later, which was the same day as Kent State. I don't know if you remember Kent State when the 4 students were killed and so on. I took my doctoral orals, received my PhD, a professorship at the university, and a parking place, which was totally unheard of at the university. And there I was now a professor because of this man's act of kindness. Well, 44 years later, 2 years ago, I took $1 million of my own money that I had earned from my book royalties and so on, and I gave it to Wayne State University for an endowed scholarship in my name for any students in the inner city of Detroit who don't have the academic credentials but have the internal desire to go to school. And now, because of that one person's act of kindness 46 years ago, several hundred students are now attending college 46 years later. That's the significance of one act of kindness. So it's just,
It's amazing.
yeah.
All right, so we're going to come back after this and talk about what the impact you felt.
All these people, look at, I recognize all these people. They're such kind people.
Look at that.